The grotesque style ornament came from the exterior of the Eastern Outfitting building at Southwest 10th and Washington. The building was finished in early 1930 and was Eastern's third location at that intersection. The building was designed by architect Luther Lee Dugan, and he blended a mixture of Art Deco style with Middle Eastern motifs. Dugan also designed the studio building just a few blocks away.
You know, Joseph Szymanski is one of those individuals who, doing some research, getting ready for this interview, everything I read about him just made me want to know him. So he was a Polish Jew. He came, born in 1869, and in 1883 his older brother had gone from Poland to San Francisco to set up a business, and Joseph joined him in 1887. So he was only 18 years old when he came to the United States, and that was really a typical story of that era. He came with $1,500. His brother had actually started Eastern Outfitting. When Joseph came to Portland, he must have had in the back of his mind that he could create this business in Portland too. The store actually became the most popular men's and women's clothing store in Portland. And then eventually he built an 8-story building which opened to the public on March 20th, 1930. He was a first in a couple of areas. Apparently he was the first to offer purchasing on the installment plan. And when you think about it, that really harkens back to his roots. It's like, again, he understood the vagaries of employment and the vagaries of trying to make a living at that time when you're a new immigrant. Eastern Outfitting's main office remained in San Francisco. I think there were 53 stores up and down the West Coast, so there was the one in Portland. He died in 1951.
Eastern Outfitting closed in 1953, and then the building was sold. In 1956, the entire exterior of the steel frame building was removed, and it was replaced with glass and aluminum as it was turned into the Portland Medical Center. Somehow, during the removal of all of the exterior decoration, this terracotta piece that might have otherwise ended up in a landfill was saved. Many years later, a fellow who was helping the Bosco Milligan Foundation relocate its building artifact collection to a new facility donated the piece to us. He was a metal salvager by trade and had originally intended to extract a chunk of iron from the piece, but thought it was too nice to destroy. Architectural terracotta became popular in the last decade or so of the 19th century, and it remained so into the 1930s. At first, terracotta was marketed as a means of making buildings more fire resistant, but it soon took off as the material of choice for sheathing entire building exteriors and for decoration. Glazed terracotta, like our grotesque friend, was particularly popular. Just as with the cast iron of earlier decades, terracotta could be finished to look as though it were carved stone, saving builders money while creating a cityscape that was both bright and modern. In the 1930s, partly with the Great Depression, partly with just changes in tastes, building ornament in general fell out of popularity. And so by when they started building again, sort of after World War II, then you started to see modern style buildings with no ornament whatsoever. In 2008, the Architectural Heritage Center hosted an exhibit about the use of architectural terracotta in Portland. To assist in our work, Gladdy McBean's company historian generously provided us with a list of their projects. At the time, we didn't know what building the Grotesque came from, but amazingly, we were able to match numbers stamped into the artifact with a project number from the Gladdy McBean project list. With some further digging, we were able to find an early photo of the Eastern Outfitting building that confirmed that the Grotesque had been part of the building's exterior decoration. Gladdy McBean made terracotta pieces for more than 80 Portland building projects. Today, you can find their work on the original Wells Fargo building, the U.S. National Bank building, the old Myron Frank block, Jackson Tower, and even the Albina Branch Library.
Joseph Szymanski gave a really great gift to Portland, and he did it very, very intentionally. So in 1926 or 25, I guess, he petitioned the Portland City Commissioners with this proposal that they accept this gift that he wanted to offer to them of this ornamental water fountain. He actually sent a letter to the council. He had the architectural plans or the drawings of the fountain already there. And he said, and I think this is so, again, telling of his personality, he said he wanted this to be a gift to the citizens of Portland for the opportunities that had been bestowed upon him, this poor little immigrant who came to the United States with absolutely nothing and was so privileged to live in a community that accepted him and allowed him to flourish. This idea of doing well by doing good.